Good afternoon, folks. This is Daniel Pecheco, co-founder of Lucrazon Global, and it's my pleasure to be your host today. I want to thank everybody for being on this call today. We're going to go through a lot of information. We're going to do it pretty quickly, no more than 4 hours. Just kidding, folks. We're probably going to get through this information in about 30 minutes. I do want to be able to answer some questions towards the end. We will be having a conference call number that we can provide for anybody that has additional questions. So I'll be emailing that out shortly after the presentation is over. Now, I will be also emailing out to everybody that registered for this webinar a website where you can go and opt in so that you can keep updated with all of the information as it becomes available. We're going into a very, very exciting week next week, and you want to be updated with everything, the process, the sign-up process, questions that you may have. So we want to make sure that everybody has the right information, and so you don't want to miss out on anything right now, because positioning, as you know, is, I'd say, about 90% of your success right now. You are going to be one of the first 500 people to be in Lucrazon Global. I mean, this company is going to set records. It's going to be of the same flavor as a lot of companies out there that are just breaking records every single day. But this company is different. This company has it all together. This company has figured out how to make, that trend in the industry that's called revenue sharing, how to make it compliant with local rules and regulations, all the regulatory agencies, the government, and every single agency that you can think of. And that's saying a lot. And so, folks, we have something here that is, the buzz is in the air, everybody feels it. Somebody finally got it right. And so Lucrazon Global is that one company that's going to be different than all the other companies. And I know that sounds hypey. I know that sounds kind of like, yeah, I heard it all before. But I kid you not, take a close look at what we have here. And just to give you a little bit of the highlights, this company is Visa, MasterCard approved. One of our partners, Merit Bank, has to vet every single thing, every document, the document that you're going to see right now, the PDF. They are the ones that are contracted to buy out our merchant portfolios, and we'll be talking about that throughout the presentation. And we have a product that's been approved and designed for the United States Small Business Administration. So those are some quick highlights there. So this is a different type of company. This is a real McCoy. This is what we've been waiting for. And this is the one that everybody's going to put their name, their face, and all their energy and resources in building the biggest company in the history of revenue sharing. That's what's going to happen, folks. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Talk a little bit about the company. Lucrazon is the parent company of Lucrazon Global. Lucrazon is a level 1 provider for Visa and MasterCard products. That means they're a wholesaler. That means they wholesale Visa and MasterCard rates to other entities, to the banks, to the MSPs, to the ISOs, to the agents, and ultimately to the merchants. So level 1 meaning that they can outbid, they're a wholesaler, so they can really undercut any other entity that's out there. And what makes them separate and distinct from any other company is that they have the ability to do that because they own their own processing gateway. There's only about 6 or 7 people out there in the world. Alex Pitt, the owner of our company, not only is a level 1 service provider, there's only 12 of those, but of the 12, only one of them owns their own payment gateway, and that's Alex Pitt. So he's been in the industry for 20, 25 years of merchant processing, and he specifically has serviced the MLM industry in terms of merchant services for just as long. So he currently processes for Bank of Hawaii. He processes all the toll roads in the United States. So every time a car goes through the fast track, he makes money. So, this is a company that's not a startup. It's not a company that decided that, hey, revenue share or paying daily bonuses is a good idea. Let's get into the market and see if we can make some money. No, this is a company that actually processes $2 billion to $3 billion a year. That's right, folks. This is not a startup scenario. This is a solid company in a $1 trillion a year industry that is merging with best of the best, with the power of the only industry that has the speed of acquisition of putting a Salesforce together like no other industry can, and that is MLM. But it's MLM with daily bonuses, and that's the magic. That's what excites people. That's why everybody that wants to participate in these programs, they get excited, right? Because it's a new day. It's a day where anybody that participates can now make money. But here's the problem. There's two things that people look for. One of them is sustainability. So in the back of everybody's mind, that's the question. Is this compensation plan different? Is this compensation plan going to go the distance? Is it going to be sustainable? And the second question is it legal? So those are the two things that in my mind are the most important when looking on one of these companies, because there's no question that you can make money. We already know that. That's why you have multiple positions and multiple companies and things of that nature. Well, here we've done it all differently. We've done it all compliant with the rules and regulations of where we live, and at the same time with a product that is approved by the Small Business Administration. So that's what we have, folks. Products and services, we have a solution. We have a patent technology that will allow anybody to become a real business. And that's the problem with our industry. Multi-level marketing, you're not a business. You're an affiliate. You're an independent contractor. You belong to that company. Folks, after working loyally for one company for more than 7 years, when I left, I resigned. Guess what? My webpage? Gone. My money? Gone. Owed me over $45,000 in commissions. I didn't even get a thank you after 7 years of loyal service. And that story, I mean, it just goes on and on and on. We have leaders on this call that have lived the very same story that I'm talking about right now. And so with this company, Alex Pitt decided, let's change the model. Let's turn affiliates into real businesses. That's what we're about. So the U.S. Small Business Administration said, okay, here's how we can consider you a real business. You have to have your own hosting, your own domain, your own integrated shopping cart, your own e-commerce web store, and you have to have your merchant services. You have to have a merchant account. So what Alex Pitt is, they spent $18 million putting all of this together, all of this technology, so that today we can provide the people that want to start their own business, a real business, online. We could do it in under 4 minutes. That's the power of the technology that we have. So, folks, it's a new day, because right now, everybody that comes on board is coming in under a pre-launch. In the pre-launch, we are buying these businesses for $1,000. That's right. To participate in the daily bonuses, you're going to come in with $1,000. The maximum positions that you could purchase are 15 positions. And, of course, each one of those positions will pay you daily bonuses as well. Now, in order to qualify for the daily bonuses, which right now in pre-launch we're projecting that after January 1st, right, because that's when the daily bonuses are going to hit, we are projecting $14.50 a day, 7 days a week, that go directly into your bank account. And here's where I have to explain this, because this is huge, guys. We are a real business, so real business transacts in time frames of 24 hours. So if you go to a restaurant, you pay with your credit card, that merchant, that owner is going to get that money at the very latest the next day into the bank account. You get paid the same day, you get paid the same way, because you now are a real business. So imagine this, folks. In pre-launch, we are going to be able to go and make money between now and December 31st, and that money that we make on commissions, direct referrals, 5 levels of, I'll go over the comp plan with you in just a second, but my point is this, that at the end of business, you're going to be able to batch out like a real business and have your commissions in your bank account, not an e-wallet, not in some P-wallet or reserve wallet, not in an e-wallet that doesn't pay you for 5 months and people are just waiting around to see if they're finally going to get their paid commissions. That's not what we're about. We're about paying people every single day like a real business. Okay, so that's our product. What is our product? We sell businesses, and we allow people the ability to process Visa and MasterCard products. Okay, on top of that, if people want to have a secondary website that promotes a secondary product that they may have, it could be health and nutrition, it could be jewelry, it could be, electronics, whatever that may be, it could be clothes. If you don't have one, but you've always wanted to have an e-commerce store, we have the same people that buy for Amazon. 60% of all the products that are offered in Amazon, that's our business partner as well. And we could, pick and choose whatever kind of products you want to put in your shopping cart. So we provide all of that. The company that partners up with Amazon, it's called Dollar Days, and then Dollar Days actually does all the fulfillment. They have over 285,000 products if you don't already have one, and you just want to make additional income online. So it does everything from multi-currency, multi-language. That says, coming soon, because as we open up different countries, remember, this is a global opportunity. You can't call yourself Lucrazon Global if you're only going to do business in the United States. We can do business anywhere in the world, and the reason for that is we own our own payment gateway. Now remember, because we're Visa, MasterCard approved, and we're a wholesaler, we only charge 0.002 above Visa and MasterCard prices. So that means we could undercut everybody out there and offer them tremendous savings from 25 to 30% on what they're currently processing. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a sec. So merchant services, that is the core product. That is what Lucrazon wants. It wants to acquire merchants. Why? Because merchant accounts can be sold as a financial instrument in the secondary market. And so I didn't know this, but I quickly became educated with the fact that just like mortgage portfolios exist and hard loan portfolios exist, and banks buy those out so that they can leverage the money that's going through their accounts and lending out $9 on every dollar that comes in, the same thing is true for merchant portfolios. So imagine this. You are no longer a downline in some company. You are now a business owner with business partners that has a real value to the banks. So when we looked at this and we looked at the market, and Alex Pitt basically said, hey, can you guys get to 10,000 accounts over the next 90 days. And I said, geez, the last company I was with, we did 100,000 sales of $2,000 a pop in 4 months. So you're asking me if we can get to 10,000? Absolutely. And so when we started looking at those numbers and saw that the banks are interested in buying merchant portfolios at 10,000 a pop, what that brings to the table on brick and mortar portfolios is between $27 and $33 million. So when I told you earlier on that at the beginning of this webinar that where the projections are 1450, right? That's a variable because real business goes up and down, but that's the projection. That was before we do the first merchant portfolio sale. Once we do that, the projections go up to $20 to $27 a day per position and into your bank account the very next day. So that's what we're talking about, and that's what this whole purpose of Lucrazon Global is to go and acquire merchants, not by knocking on doors, not by pounding the pavement, not by walking in and out of businesses and asking them to see their bank statements, no. By wholesaling rates, and we all know that all things being equal, people like doing business with people they know, like, and trust. And so what we're after is for every single participant in our daily bonuses in order to qualify for that daily payout. Now, if you have some paper, you have a pen, please write this down. This is the qualifier. This is what allows you to get paid every single day, 7 days a week, and have that money into your bank account the very next day. You ready? Here we go. You're going to provide us with one contact, name, telephone number, email address, name of business. That's it, guys. You're going to provide us with one contact over a 90-day period to get paid. That's it. One every 90 days. So imagine this. Somebody comes in, buys a business, they want to participate in the daily bonuses. To get paid for an entire year, you need 4 contacts. Now, remember, if the requirement is just to provide the contact, but if that contact through our call center, right, because the call center is going to do all the heavy lifting for you, they're going to do the proposals, they're going to do the comparisons, they're going to answer all the technical questions on rates and this and that and the other, that's not your job. Your job is just to provide us with one contact. That's it. But if that contact does turn into a new customer, then that customer goes underneath you. And get this, you make 50% of the profit of the revenue that they're processing every single month. Now, folks, that can add up into a significant amount of money. But on top, that's like, the gravy. Our compensation plan is just like all the other compensation plans that people are making fortunes. Guys, the top network marketer in the world in traditional MLM is making about $40,000 to $45,000 a day selling coffee. In this type of program, we've got about 20 guys doing that in 6 months. That's how magical this type of compensation plan is, that I'm about to explain to you in just a bit. But the key to it, the magic to it, what makes it all work is the daily bonuses. But the daily bonuses are sustainable because what we're after with Lucrazon is merchant portfolio sales. And we can provide that with a very simple system of paying you and rewarding you to bring us one contact information every 90 days so that we can justify paying you those daily bonuses. It is unreal. Okay, so now we had to figure out a way, of course, to make all of this work and make sure that it was approved and, that the banks vetted it, said it was okay, the representatives of Merrick Bank, Visa, MasterCard approved as well. The multiple positions were going to have to be SEO packages. So 15 guys, that's the total, including your top position. So you have your top position and 14 others below. Those 14 other positions that are paying you daily bonuses are also going to be doing something that's even more important. They're going to be providing advertising and ranking and promoting organically your top position so that you can rank on Google, Yahoo, and Bing on the first page. That's what you're purchasing. So not only are we going to give you all this technology, a real business, a real merchant account, a way to actually put a value to your organization, but at the same time, we're also going to rank you. So we're going to give you customers. We're going to increase your revenue by simply participating in multiple positions below the first one. So that's how we're handling that part of the business. Now, for those of you that want to become brand partners, remember this is a one-time out-of-pocket of $1,000 between now and the end of the year. Now, if you become a brand partner, you can actually transact your own processing. So if you're a business owner and have a traditional business on the side, you've now become a wholesaler of Visa MasterCard products. So, example, a restaurant that, let's say, is paying $10,000 in fees every single month to Visa and MasterCard can now pay a one-time out-of-pocket of $1,000, become their own processor in a sense, and instead of paying $10,000 a month, can now pay $5,000 a month and turn a liability into an asset. So how many people are going to say no to that? See, right now, I have yet to find somebody that tells me, my goodness, that does not make any sense. Actually, we've had about 500 people come through the office. We have 400 applications ready to get processed. And folks, this is going in between today and tomorrow. All of these initial, the first phase of the sign-ups will be done manually, and then after Thursday, by Friday morning at the latest, we're going to pull the trigger and automate the entire system. So we're going to pre-launch. Guys, we have people in other countries waiting for this because this is real business done the real way under the rules and regulations of our country, where you're not sending money to another country, who knows where, they bouncing off of multiple servers before they actually hit the account. We're not doing any of those things. We're doing business the right way here in the good old USA. So, a lot of advantages. Folks, direct your attention to the left side of your screen. You see the flow of business. That's traditional e-commerce business, where if somebody wants to do business online, they need a web designer, a web developer, a shopping cart, MSP, ISOs, banks, payment processors, product suppliers, all of these different things for an e-commerce business to flourish. Not to mention, you need SEO, because you can have all of those things and be the best at having all a beautiful site and everything else falling into place. But guess what? If nobody can find you, it really doesn't matter. You're not going to make any money. Then you have the merchant processing world, and if you look at the very top of Visa and MasterCard, they own everything, right? Nothing gets bigger than them. Then there's the level 1 service providers. That's us. That's how we rank. Then we have the gateway, which you see right there, that orange circle with the arrows. Those arrows signify that every single person there that's getting a cut, that's getting a percent, right, all the way down to the merchant, everybody's getting a percentage. So what we're saying is, hey, we're going to take the traditional e-commerce business, and we're going to give you the traditional merchant processing business, but we're going to allow you to do it both online and offline, and we're going to give you this technology and the ability to process for Visa and MasterCard at wholesale rates within 4 minutes. And so we're going to take all of that other stuff out of the equation, and it's just going to be Lucrazon and you. That's what we have here. And, oh, by the way, we're going to pay you daily bonuses. That's the power of what we have. And we're going to pay you those daily bonuses on multiple positions. So right now, guys, 15 is the number, okay? That's the maximum positions that you could purchase at $1,000 one time out of pocket. Now, how do you qualify? Once again, one contact per 90 days per position. It can't be any better than that. Okay, so let's talk about commissions. Let's talk about how you're going to get paid. Number one, there's a 20% direct sales e-commerce for every e-commerce business that you sell. So if somebody buys multiple positions, you will make 20% of the very first position they purchase. So on a $1,000 sale, that's $200. Now that $200, understand that you, as a merchant, as a real business, are collecting that money, and the money's going to flow up instead of down. Traditional multi-level, there's a one master merchant account at the very top, and everybody processes there, and then they hold the money and pay commissions wherever they want to. Or like in certain companies that are out there that don't pay their people for months and months and months, and I can't believe they're still in business. Anyway, that's a story for another day. But anyway, the way the flow of the money goes is you collect the money and it goes up, and that's exactly the way the banks want to look at it. So it mitigates the risk, right? No chargebacks, no reverse charges, no fraud, because if you do fraud, guess what? It doesn't affect the company, it doesn't affect the organization, it affects just one person. So back to the 20%. $1,000 are paid. You collect the money, your commission goes into your bank account the next day. You ready for this? If you have Bank of America, Wells Fargo, or Chase, we pay you the same day. That is huge, guys. I'm talking about getting paid the same day if you have a Bank of America, Wells Fargo, or Chase account. Second payout, you're going to have 3% that's going to roll down from level 2 through 6, so an additional 5 levels of production that you're going to override 3% of the sign-ups. That basically means that all the additional positions that people buy, if they're not direct to you, are going to be $30 for every one of those positions. Now remember, I just told you that the price is going to go up. The increase is going to be in January. So right now you have 2 months to be able to go out there and get everybody positioned. Because see, right now it's all about positioning and getting the 50% break on the one-time out of pocket of $2,000, right? It's not $2,000 right now. It's only $1,000. So you want to make sure that people take advantage of that all the way up to December 31st. After the first week of January, folks, we're going to pull the trigger. It's going to be the official launch, and then we'll go to 2,000. And by then, I guarantee you we're going to be either already done or very close to completing the very first merchant portfolio sale, and that's going to spike the daily profit. That's going to spike the daily bonuses. So number 3, we have 2 channels. We call that, in banking terms, left channel, right channel. You know it as a binary. So if you look at the diagram there, you know, you have one on the left, one on the right. That's going to trigger a payout. And right now that's 6%. Of 1,000, 6% of 1,000, obviously $60. Once it goes to 2,000, that's going to be $120 per paired business. So if you have one business on the left, one business on the right, multiple positions count as well. Directs, indirects, spillover, all of it counts for your binary. So guys, we've studied this. We've looked at the competition. We've looked at the companies that are out there. Nobody has what we have. Nobody has our technology. Nobody has our gateway. Nobody has merchant services. Nobody has real business doing business the real way. I mean, does that make sense? This is completely head and shoulders above everything else that's out there. But what's powerful about our binary, folks, is that right now in pre-launch, the maximum you can make per day per position is $5,000 a day per position. So that's $150,000 potential a month if you come in with just one position. If you build two legs, or in this banking terminology, one left vertical, one right vertical, or one left channel, one right channel. You can max out during this phase of the launch at $150,000 a month with just one position. That's how powerful our binary is. However, after the price increase, guys, we're going to go to a $10,000 a day from you down to infinity with no levels to qualify on the binary. So that's $10,000. That puts you at a $300,000 a month potential with just one position. Now, folks, we have the residual aspect of our business. When you have businesses that want to just become not brand partners, they just want to become our customers, we're going to give you 50% of the profit that is generated every single month by that business. So, guys, if you have a business doing $10,000 in merchant processing fees, and that's what they're paying to Visa and MasterCard, you're going to earn $5,000 a month off of just one account. And they're out there. We were sitting together having lunch today with somebody that has a friend that owns a whole retail chain of stores that is currently doing $200 million in processing. I mean, that's the gross. Obviously, there's the fees are going to be about 1% of that, but I mean, that's still a whole lot of money. You get half of that every single month. So that's an additional income stream that none of those other companies, right? None of those other money games that send their money to, Hong Kong or wherever else, they don't even have that. So you have the opportunity to make the hundreds of thousands of dollars that we're already used to making from the daily payout and from all the compensation plan that I just explained to you. But on top of that, you have the residual income from just having some businesses underneath you. Now, from the hosting fees, you're going to get 50% of that as well. So there's so many revenue streams in our business model because it's a real business. So we combine the best of what's out there in revenue share with the best of a trillion-dollar industry. Now, remember, security and compliance is number one. Our building in Irvine, California, is a level for security building. You can't even access our building without having a key card or somebody letting you in. You can't even move around. Doors have to be closed. Everything's videotaped. We're audited by Visa and MasterCard every single month. Guys, it doesn't get any more high security. This is Jason Bourne kind of stuff in the facility that they have in Las Vegas. So everything's PCI compliant. There's just no room to do any shady or seediness with our business model. This is real business done the real way. So just recap real quick, product, services, and benefits. You're going to have your own business, right? Not like the other MLMs. You're going to have your own URL. You're going to send people to your domain. That's where they're going to sign up. And you're going to have a merchant account to get paid directly, and that gives value to your entire organization because when we sell those merchant portfolios for the processing fees, we're not going to sell your downline. We're just going to sell the processing, and that's going to put between $27 and $33 million on top of all of the transactions that we're processing as people are growing their business. So that's an additional revenue where we take 30% of that, put it back into the daily bonuses, which are going to spike them after the first merchant portfolio sale. So guys, we're going to be able to pay out more money than ever it's ever been done before. It's just not, there's just nothing to compare it to. This is a complete hybrid of the merchant services industry and the best of daily bonuses or revenue share as it's known in the industry. So we have the daily deposits going into your bank account the very next day. If you have Wells Fargo, Bank of America, or Chase, you're going to get paid the same day. We're going to do the SEO on the multiple positions. When you take a look at that, on the automation of article submission, blogging, in the ranking that we do for you, the geo-targeting by zip code that we do both for an e-commerce store or for merchant services, we can rank those keywords and get you on the first page of Google, Yahoo, and Bing. We have 20% direct sale bonuses. We have 35% hosting fees. That's actually 50% now, folks. So from the hosting fee, there's a $50 a month fee. You get half of that as well from all of your directly sponsored reps. And then there's a tiered out payout over the other 5 levels deep. You also, which has 35% of merchant services, that's also gone up to 50%. So if you do bring a business, and remember, you're going to provide contact information for businesses. But if you happen to have a friend, right, all things being equal, people are going to do business with people they know, like, and trust. If that happens for you, then we're going to give 50% of the profit that they generate every month. Okay, folks, that is the Lucrazon Global opportunity. I told you we're going to take more than 30 minutes, and I think that we pretty much kept to that. Yeah, exactly, about 30 minutes. And folks, I got to tell you, this is not hard. This is the easiest thing I've ever seen. People that love those other programs that are out there, that are giving them daily bonuses or giving them revenue share, when they take a look at this and say, hey, I can sleep at night and know that I'm in compliance, that I know that I'm going to be able to have an opportunity that's going to be there tomorrow, where I feel good about bringing my friends and my business owners and my partners, bringing them to something that's solid and secure with a company that's backed up by Visa and MasterCard, by the banking institutions, which is the most highest regulated industry in the world, and with a product that was designed, right? This e-commerce solution with merchant accounts and integrated shopping carts was created for the Small Business Administration. We could deliver that in 4 minutes anywhere around the world. Are you kidding me? With all of that value, with all that technology, and with all those patents where nobody can compete with us because we own our payment gateway, because we're a level 1 service provider. Oh, and by the way, we're going to pay you daily bonuses, and all I have to do is bring you one contact every 90 days so that I can get paid? Oh, and if I refer some people, I make even more? Are you kidding me? So we're still waiting for those brave people that are just saying, hey, you know what? It's not for me. And I don't mean to sound that confident, guys. Actually, I do mean to sound that confident because I know what's out there. I absolutely know the market that's out there right now. And what we have, guys, is just you just can't compete. We're going to pay out more. We're going to pay you every day. We're not going to hold 10% of your money. We're not going to hold 20% of your money and then tell you where to spend it. We don't play those games. This is real business. You get paid the next day. We're not one of those companies that's going to put your money in an e-wallet and not pay you for months and tell you that it's your fault. This is real business the real way. So thank you very much for listening so attentively. I'm going to be emailing out where you can register and opt in to get additional information. I will also email you a conference call number so that we can have a question and answer session, and we're going to do that at 7 o'clock. For those of you that are getting coded in that are directly sponsored by Daniel Pecheco, then you need to please be by your phone, be by your email, because we're processing tonight. We're processing through the whole night. So if we need additional information, something's not clear, something was written wrong, this stuff is going in manually. As of Friday, we pull the trigger. Everything's going to be automatic. But you need to be by your phone. You need to let us know. And if you haven't submitted your paperwork, you better submit your paperwork right away because we're going to be doing the positioning tonight. So, guys, as of Thursday at 4 o'clock, no later than Friday morning, it's game on. So thank you so much for listening so attentively, and God bless. Yeah, man,